Have you ever looked into a narcissist's eyes and felt like something was missing? Like there was no depth, no warmth, just an empty shell of a person? That's because some narcissists reach a point where their soul is completely destroyed, leaving them in a permanent state of darkness. And the scariest part, they will never recover. In this video, we'll uncover 5 chilling signs that a narcissist's soul is beyond saving. If you've ever wondered whether a narcissist in your life is too far gone, this is the video you need to watch. Number 1. They feel nothing, not even fake emotions. There comes a point where a narcissist's soul is so destroyed that even their ability to fake emotions disappears. In the past, they might have mimicked love, empathy, or sorrow to manipulate others, but now they feel absolutely nothing. Their charm fades, their usual emotional tricks stop working, and they become disturbingly cold and detached. Situations that once triggered their fake concern or exaggerated rage now barely get a reaction. They don't even try to put on an act anymore because deep inside, there's nothing left to pretend with. The emptiness has swallowed them whole, leaving them like a lifeless shell, going through the motions but never truly engaging with anything or anyone. It's as if their heart has turned to stone, and even their manipulative instincts are starting to fail them. This emotional numbness isn't just chilling to witness, it's a sign that they are internally collapsing. They no longer experience joy, sadness, or even the shallow pleasure they used to get from controlling others. Instead, they exist in a state of complete emotional deadness where nothing excites them, nothing moves them, and nothing fuels them. This is why some narcissists spiral into self-destruction. Without the ability to feel anything, their world becomes unbearable. They may turn to reckless behavior, substance abuse, or extreme isolation, trying desperately to fill the void, but nothing works. And this is the most terrifying truth. Once a narcissist reaches this point, there is no coming back. They have burned every bridge, including the one that could have led them back to their own humanity. Number 2. They are completely disconnected from reality. There comes a point in a narcissist's downfall where their grip on reality completely shatters. In the past, they may have carefully crafted lies to manipulate others, twisting the truth to serve their own agenda. But when their soul is truly destroyed, they don't just lie to others, they lie to themselves so deeply that they can no longer tell what's real. They exist in a delusional world of their own making where they are always the victim, the hero, or the mastermind, no matter how much evidence proves otherwise. Their paranoia skyrockets, and they become convinced that everyone is out to get them. They rewrite history in their favor, refusing to acknowledge their own mistakes, even when confronted with undeniable proof. Conversations with them feel surreal because they no longer respond with logic or reason, only twisted narratives that serve their crumbling ego. This level of disconnection is not just disturbing, it's dangerous. A narcissist who has lost all sense of reality can spiral into reckless, erratic behavior, making impulsive decisions that ultimately sabotage their own life. They may lash out irrationally, destroy relationships with their last remaining enablers, or even make outrageous accusations against people who once cared for them. At this stage, they are no longer playing the manipulative chess game they once mastered. They are simply reacting out of pure delusion and fear. And the worst part, they will never admit they are wrong. Instead, they will double down, dig deeper into their fantasies, and isolate themselves further, convinced that they are the only ones who see the truth. This is the moment when even their closest allies begin to walk away, because dealing with someone who is completely detached from reality is not just exhausting, it's impossible. Number 3. They sabotage themselves without realizing it. When a narcissist's soul is completely destroyed, they become their own worst enemy without even realizing it. In the past, they were master manipulators, carefully controlling people and situations to maintain their power. But now, their own arrogance blinds them to reality, and they start making reckless decisions that backfire horribly. They push away the few remaining people who tolerated them, betray those who supported them, and destroy opportunities that could have benefited them all, because their ego refuses to let them see the damage they're causing. They become impulsive, making desperate moves to regain control, but instead they dig themselves into deeper isolation and failure. What once worked so well for them, deception, charm, and intimidation, now falls apart before their eyes, and yet they can't stop themselves from continuing the cycle of destruction. What makes this even more tragic is that they never see themselves as the problem. Instead of recognizing their self-sabotage, they blame everyone else, claiming they were betrayed, misunderstood, or unfairly treated. They burn bridges and then act like the victim when no one comes back to save them. The more they fail, the more they lash out, making irrational choices that only worsen their situation. It's like watching someone sink in quicksand. The more they struggle, the faster they drown. But unlike a normal person who might self-reflect and change, a narcissist refuses to admit fault. They would rather destroy everything around them than accept responsibility. And that's why they never recover, because their own actions keep them trapped in an endless cycle of chaos, loneliness, and self-destruction. Number 4, they are trapped in eternal emptiness. A narcissist without a soul is a person trapped in an endless void, an emptiness so deep that nothing can fill it. In the past, they fed off the admiration, attention, and energy of others, using it like a drug to keep their fragile ego alive. But when their soul is completely destroyed, even that no longer works. They find no real joy in anything, no satisfaction in their victories, and no true connection with anyone. Their world becomes a cold, lifeless place where every interaction feels meaningless and every relationship is just another hollow transaction. They wake up every day feeling a sense of inner deadness, a crushing emptiness that follows them everywhere. No matter how much power they gain or how many people they manipulate, it never fills the void inside them, it only deepens it. And yet they can never escape it. Unlike normal people who can seek healing, love, or redemption, a narcissist refuses to confront the truth of their own emptiness. Instead of facing their pain, they run from it, jumping from one distraction to the next, new relationships, reckless behaviors, or mindless consumption. But nothing works. As time passes, the loneliness grows unbearable and the realization sets in they have alienated everyone, destroyed every meaningful bond, and are left with nothing but themselves. And for a narcissist, that is the most terrifying fate of all. They are trapped in an existence where they can never experience real love, real joy, or real peace, only an eternal cycle of emptiness that will follow them to the end of their days. Number 5. Their manipulation no longer works. A narcissist's entire existence revolves around control, twisting words, playing mind games, and emotionally manipulating people to get what they want. But when their soul is completely destroyed, their manipulation begins to fail, and that is their ultimate nightmare. The tricks that once worked effortlessly, gaslighting, guilt-tripping, love-bombing, start falling flat. People no longer believe their lies, no longer fall for their sob stories, and no longer react with fear or admiration. The narcissist, who once commanded attention and control, now finds themselves powerless. They try to use the same old tactics, but instead of compliance, they're met with resistance, indifference, or even laughter. The world they once controlled is slipping through their fingers, and they don't understand why. This realization sends them into a downward spiral. When manipulation stops working, their entire identity crumbles. Without control over others, they feel exposed, weak, and insignificant, something their ego cannot handle. In desperation, they may become more aggressive, throwing tantrums, making grand accusations, or even resorting to extreme behaviors to regain their power. But the more they try, the more they fail. The people around them have seen through the mask, and once that happens, there's no going back. The narcissist becomes a shadow of who they once were, lost in a world that no longer fears or respects them. And that is their worst punishment, being stripped of the only power they ever had, forced to exist in a reality where they are no longer in control, no longer worshipped, and no longer relevant. When a narcissist's soul is destroyed, they don't heal. They don't reflect. They don't change. They just sink further into their own darkness. The best thing you can do: stay away and protect your own soul from their toxic energy. Have you ever encountered a narcissist who showed these signs? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss powerful insights like this. See you in the next one.